There we go. Hey, I'm Jay Skinner, and this is the Buyers and Sellers Show pre-show. I'll start out playing a little bit here and give everybody a chance to get on. You probably saw from this is Ask Jay. What would Jay do? After 2.5 years of the Buyers and Sellers Show every Friday morning live, learned a few things, made some friends, progressed. I'll show you some clips, some fun shorts and reels that go along with it, some comments people had about the show, and I want to know what you think. And if you got a question, not just about the show in general, but about sales, marketing, life, you know I'm not backwards about just about any topic. Probably any topic. Hello, look, people are getting on board already. That's great. I'm Jay Skinner, and this is the pre-show. About another 30 seconds and we'll be off. And we're live. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Skinner, and you're live on the Buyers and Sellers Show with me right now. I'm so happy to have you. And for those of you that are watching on a replay, welcome. Thank you. Everybody can't just make it live, and I get it. And I'm just so glad you're here. So today, what are we doing? We're talking about all sorts of stuff. And there we go. Marty's jumped in already, says, nice seeing you again, Jay. Sorry I missed a few of these episodes of the world famous Jay. Well, Marty, that's all right. Glad you came back. He's the expert of the white hot shot and the headshots. Think about that. Get to know Marty Moran. Go look him up on YouTube or get on his website. He's the guy that took my most recent headshot pictures. It was awesome. Anyway, we're sitting here talking and thinking about things. Reminder that the Buyers and Sellers Show is here weekly, and you make it very important. It's awesome for you to be here because that makes the conversation go. And I encourage you today, especially, to ask some questions. Give me a chance to answer a question, tell you my opinion about something. And the other thing is, if you're watching not live, just put in the comments. I'll see them and I'll answer, and it'll be great. Now, let's see what we got here. Marty says, yeah, there's the website. Thank you, Marty. It's whitehotheadshot.com. And it's like, let me tell you, those are good. And if you've looked at some of my most recent headshots, in fact, I'll show you one right now. I'm pretty proud of them. And this is work Marty did. Let me show you one right now. Here's an example. Boom. Look at that. Good stuff, Marty. Thank you. He even did fancy stuff like this. How cool is that? Good. Now, as we go into this show today, I want to remind you of a couple of things, rules. We got the silver rule and the green rule. And in this case, let's talk about the silver rule. It's do unto your vendors as you want your customers to do unto you. Now, on this silver rule, it's so important that you think about this because if if your vendors, the people that you buy from, are asking you to, buy stuff from them and pay them in 30 days, that's one of my biggest examples. And you say, "Oh no, I'm not doing that. I'm paying 60 or 90." Um, but then you have customers and you're demanding advance payment or net 30 or something. It's incongruent, and it's not going to fare well for you long term. It's just not right. So treat your vendors the way you want your customers to treat you, and you'll always do well. Now, the other one is the green rule. The green rule by Jay Skinner. That's do for yourself what you're asking others to pay you to do for them. I'll put it up there again. Do for yourself what you're asking others to pay you to do for them. And so look at your own business and what you're doing. And are you doing for yourself what you recommend to your customers and to other people's that they do for you? And I always use the example of a guy that works at the Ford company, but he's driving a Chevrolet, for instance. It's like, no, you don't want to do that. If a guy's driving a Jeep and he's working at the BMW company, that's not very good either. You got to be consistent if you want those good, consistent results, and your customers will think good things about you. So, what are we talking about here? WWJD. What would Jay do? Huh. And I'm interested. Make it interesting for this show today and ask me a question if you've got a good one. And I appreciate it, because think about this 2.5 years of the Buyers and Sellers Show. This is like the 131st consecutive weekly show. That's pretty serious. I'm thankful for that. Then look at this. The first date was February 5th, 2021. And that was my first go live. And my topic was dealing with vendors. It was a lot of fun. You can go back and find it. That one, I don't think I was using StreamYard. In fact, I'm sure I wasn't. I think I did a straight go live on Facebook Live to get started. Something like that. Oh my gosh. And I'm advertising for Hometown Fence. Isn't that funny? I don't even know who Hometown Fence is, but there you go. There you go. So let's take a look at the inspiration here. Look at all these books. I've become a book reader, book guy more than ever with all these authors that I interview. But this book right here was the inspiration, and I still have to tell you that this is one of the best ways to get out there and begin to build your social profile, your social proof, so to speak, because this is where you get to learn and find out about how I think and what I think. Because as the CEO extender, someone that works for business owners, what better place to find and listen to someone than just get on a show like this, a podcast, and listen to the guy talk about different topics and say, that resonates with me. I think I like it. And I think I could hire him to be an extension of me on a project or, whatever we do. So that's the purpose. The whole idea of this show was to put myself in a position to be found. And it's worked. And that's good. And the good news now is if you do things like you ask Google or some of these other services like, hey, Alexa, who is the CEO extender? Oh my gosh. I think she finds me. Or who's the plasticpalletguy.com? That'd be me. And it's kind of fun. That wasn't the case. Or you go to YouTube and you type in Jay Skinner and my stuff comes up on top. But that wasn't the case a year ago. It wasn't the case 2.5 years ago for sure. But things keep moving, and all of a sudden you build social proof and you're here and good things are happening. So when we talk about, what I'm doing, here's my contact information. I want you to see this. A lot of things go, and you have to keep going and growing. And I'm fortunate that I have maintained clients, as we got started just about from the beginning. And I had to figure out ways to make this work. And the whole model for what I'm doing right now didn't really come together till the latter part of 2021 after I started the show. And it became evident that a full-time guy doing the kinds of things that I do on behalf of the CEO sometimes is more than anybody really needs or wants to pay for, or maybe can afford, but someone that can put in the equivalent of about a day a week, some sort of a part-time or fractional CEO project guy, get things done guy works, and you get it done. And so that's been one of the cool things about it, is that once I got to that point, rather than being a full-time guy for someone that is way more expensive, then I get multiple clients and good things happen. So I just want you to know kind of how that worked. Then the other part is when it comes to the internet show, it's kind of fun. I want you to look at this. Uh, if you remember, last week I had Terry Brock on, and he's the Hall of Fame speaker, AI expert, and he did this for me. Check it out.
Jay, you wonderful guy, Terry Brock here, and I want to send you a video and thank you very much for what you did. What a professional you are in doing the interview that you had with me, and particularly the winners are your viewers, your listeners, the people that are participating in that, because you helped me to bring out parts of me that I didn't know were going to be there, and it was good. It was great to be able to say, okay, here's what we can do. We can share this and share that. One of the things I really loved about it is what we did is we went through some step-by-step with AI. I'm doing a lot with AI, got a chance to say, this is exactly what you do. Click on that red button there, then click on this over there. Here's what we type in. See this right here. And that's something that is a really good tutorial to show people, here's how you do it. And Jay, you set the atmosphere to make that happen. You were encouraging, you helped me using a technology that I wasn't familiar with. I hadn't done it. Now I work with technology all the time, but you can't know everything about everything. So you helped me working through it. We tried that, tried this. If something didn't work, we did it. And it came out beautifully. And I learned by doing it. So now I'm feeling better with that technology as well. So you see, everybody wins. First and foremost, your viewers are winning because of who you are. Secondly, I'm winning. I learned some new things and got a chance to get to know you more. You're one wonderful guy. And I think you won as well, because you're getting a chance to show your work, your expertise to others in a professional way. Jay, you're a wonderful guy. Really appreciate you, and looking forward to staying in touch with you and doing more. Hey, we ought to do another one of these. It was so much fun. We'll have to do it again. You have a wonderful day, my friend. Thank you for being such a professional and such an outstanding human being.
Wow, that was really nice. Thank you. That's terrybrock.com. And the technology you referenced was I use a platform here called StreamYard, and we really got deep into using it. And he'd been on a StreamYard before, but never got into some of the details and depth of what it could do. And that was something I was introducing to him. He is the AI king. And here's Doug Wing. Now, Doug, thank you for being here. And Doug, if you're just jumping in, this is Ask Jay a Question. So if you got me a question, I would love to hear it. While we're at, he's an author. He's a former owner of the Little Giant Ladder Company, and his dad founded that. And I want to look back here because I'll see if there's a Doug Wing book right here called The Giver, one of his books. And look at dougwing.com and get to know Doug. I recommend him. He's a genuinely nice guy. And when his next book comes out, and he's got a couple and he's got more coming, you can bet he'll be here. He is one of the most sought after speakers on my show. And I have the greatest number of viewers and everything when Doug's along. What a genuinely nice man. So, Doug, if you got a question, ask a question too, and I'd be happy to answer it. So, terrybrock.com. How about that? You can get to know him, or go back to last week's show, because he did show a very practical way to generate a sales and marketing plan for your company using perplexity.com, a special AI company. And at the same time, he also showed a way to generate photographs and pictures based upon a description of what you want to see using Canva. And it was step by step. And I already had some feedback yesterday that one of my clients watched it, he tried it, he loved it. He's like, this is awesome stuff. So I want you to do that. Let's see. The other part is that as I've gone along here and I try to stay up on stuff, I'm going to pepper in something here that'll be kind of interesting. Look at this. Some of these kinds of things that I'm beginning to do right now. I'll tell you about this after I run one or two. this is a part of this whole program, and that's when you feel that nudge to do something that's really good for others or for yourself, don't question it. Just act upon the inclination or inspiration and do it. Make the move. One of the things that many people suffer from, and you can analyze your own self about this, is you get an idea to help someone to do something, to make some sort of an effort, and then it goes through this whole mental process. Ha! How about that? Here's one. Couldn't agree more. And that will help with your anxiousness and your worriedness. But sometimes you got this problem. Where's my money going? I'm feeling broke. That'll make you feel like, if you're not careful, desperate, and attack things in that way. And did you hear me use the word attack? Definitely not the right word when it comes to working with people, but if they feel attacked, they're going to recoil and not be interested. So we have to breathe. So how about these shorts? You're going to see these peppered out across the media here over the next weeks and months to attract additional attention. I'd be interested what you think about those. And these are like something out of my shows. And I have this great virtual assistant her name is Jess. And if you would like someone that can do this, oh my gosh, she's affordable and she's like really smart. And she's able to take my shows and create these videos. Look at this one.
Please
So
do.
it sounds like you were suggesting that the company needs at least one internal person that is focused on managing the relationship with the digital marketing agency. This will help to get the most out of the agency. And if you could figure out a way to bottle that concept or even sell it, is as a digital marketing agency that says, if I don't have somebody within your company that's accessible, understands what you guys do, and we can call and talk to and everything like this, we're going to be bumping along quite a bit, because every time I want to talk to the main guy that knows everything, he's not available because he's too busy doing the important stuff, which is making a sale.
That person has some understanding of marketing and knows and can understand the metrics and has some background there, rather than just someone random.
How about that? Now, many of you recognize these little clips. How fun is this? And it brings things to mind. And I think it's cool. So I'm wondering what you think about that as well. So as we go on here for today, celebrating 2.5 years, 131 shows. Oh my gosh. I want to keep showing you things. And it's like, I remember it was over a year ago or something. I was online with Jeffrey Gitomer, and we were talking the King of Sales. I showed you one of his books earlier. Here's one of the big ones, The Little Red Book of Selling. Now, let's see if I can get that in there where you can actually read that. The Little Red Book of Selling. I mean, it sold millions of copies. It's one of his 17, awesome books over the last 30 years or more. It's like, I really love the guy. He and his wife, Jen, have really been friends of mine since the beginning. We really got to know each other in 2020, during probably the middle of 2020, when he was going live every day. And it's like, oh my gosh, the next thing you know, I'm sitting in his house in Charlotte having pancakes. How about that? Anyway, look, we had a little bit of fun. Watch this. I commented up on one of his shows.
Positive. Yeah, you don't have a revenue problem. You have a don't know how to sell problem. I agree. I totally agree. That is a great line, Skinner. I mean, I sent it to one of my customers yesterday. It absolutely loved it. Yeah, this is good. I'm sending it to myself. I'm giving 2 seminars this week. It will be credited to you in both seminars. So if somebody calls and said, somebody said this, it was me.
How about that? Thanks, Jeffrey. I could help him. Now, remember, this is all just you in your head, making notes, thinking. Now, I'm not telling you to send an email to 100,000 people or 10,000 or 5. Just think of that one person right now. Just do that. So much more relaxing to go one at a time. You get the idea, and then you get an idea in your own mind of what you could do to help them. Call their cell phone and arrange to informally share your idea that would help them. And leave a smart message if it's needed. Yeah. I'm really liking those shorts. Anyway, so here we are. I'm just checking to see if there's any additional comments. Chime in. One of the things is if you got something in your mind, you're wondering if to put it, just put it down and ask that question or make that comment. Or if you're on the replay, do the same thing, because I will see it and I will come back and do that. You know, one of the things that I'm interested in, and maybe you can comment about this either later or call me or something, is this a good time to have this show? Would it be a better time some other time that might cause you to be more able to get on live? I'm open to change. If I have views across all the platforms, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Rumble. It's amazing. But if you say, Jay, Friday morning is really not a great time because, and your sense is that I could do a lot better on a different date or time, great, let me know. Anything to make it even better. Let's see. And then here's Marty says he typically likes the short, precise video comments. There you go. And that's the idea of this. And it's to make some comments and get people thinking. And then if they want to get the whole show, when I start posting these up, I may put these actually with a link to the YouTube show that it came from. So if someone wants to get the whole scoop from the entire show that inspired these clips, then, they can get to it. I don't know. But great. Thanks, Marty. Anyway, everyone, I'm in a process now wrapping up, and I want to tell you, I really, really appreciate your support for the last 2.5 years. I appreciate the fact that, lots of people have come on as a guest for me over this time, and lots of people have listened and made comments and been my friend. And at the same time, people have hired me, which I so much appreciate. And people that have hired me continue to use these shows as a resource for all these topics. Something I talk about here, I want to show you that I mention it, but I want to make sure you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to share the screen, and that'll be this, unless there's another question or comment. Do present and do share screen. And we'll share this screen over here. It is easier to share a screen. Boom. There we go. And put this out here where you can see it. There you go. Now, this is my website, which PDT Associates or thejayskinner.com or the CEOextender.com. You get here lots of ways. Once you get to the Jay Skinner, my website, and you'll see PDT Associates up here. And now I've been using member of the National Speakers Association, which I'm proud of as well. And you go through the tabs, and I talk about on the tabs, there's things to look at, but there's one tab in particular that says Internet Show link here. And if you just click on that, watch, boom, it takes you right to my YouTube playlist. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. There. Look at that. And it's the podcast playlist. And there I am right now live. If we clicked in that, we'd see us talking right now with a delay. But then the nice thing is you look at this, and I'm going to make it even bigger to make it easier to see even. As you go through this, it's not going to make a difference. There we go. you see the topics mentioned. And I always, when I interview someone, put their name up near the front, so that makes it easier. And then we just talk about different things and different topics. It makes it good so you can click through and look at stuff. Some of my favorites is this 2-part customer service series really is good. I recommend that. You get down here, you'll see trade show stuff. Right now, we're getting back into trade show season, and I want people to take a look at the trade show training. And you might see replay trade shows training. And let's see if I can find one here. There was a trade show thing I did, but you get in here, take a look at trade show training. Let's see if I can find it. I could have easily gone past it. There, the CEO extender that talks about what I do. See these things? Probably one of the areas that a lot of people miss is that when they have trade shows and they either attend or they are what do you call it? An exhibitor, they miss getting ready and planning and being like really good at it. So when they go to that trade show, it's like they're taking over, man. It's like awesome things are happening. And I want to tell you, this talks about working the plan. When I went to the PAC Expo a couple years ago, this is perfect. I did a surprise live. The other part is working live trade shows, how to make the most out of them. This is streamed 2 years ago, and this is one of the most valuable shows I've got. If you do trade shows or you visit them, to think about things that you never thought of that you could do to help either find vendors, find customers, get the most out of it in the shortest amount of time, and make an impact so that when you went to that event and when you go away, you've met the most number of people and you got the most contacts. So it becomes business, networking, all this stuff. So if I was to say right now, because everybody's going through this, and we got a core expo coming up. I'm telling people this is trade show time. Go back here into some of my old broadcasts about trade shows and learn something about that. Well, everyone, great show. So glad you came aboard and you watched. If you're on the replay, remember, put your comments or questions in and I'll be back to you and it'll post up and you'll get them. And in the meantime, thank you for 2.5 years of the Buyers and Sellers Show. I'll see you again next week. That would be Friday, live at 10:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Always doing it. And next week, I got a guest that's going to be out of this world. He's a movie star. He's been on all sorts of TV and movie shows that you've seen, like NCIS or Batman. And he's also an expert on executive presence. And he teaches executives how to present themselves and do those meetings in a way that they never dreamed that they could before, because many of these tech executives just aren't good in front of people to begin with. But he teaches them how to do that out in California. His name is Joe Sabatino. Look him up. Joe Sabatino, Sabatino, SABATINO.com. And you're going to love meeting him. So, Marty, thank you. Congrats, Jay. Thank you very much. You're part of the success. I'll see you next week. Have a great day. See you next week. Thanks for coming. Bye now.